were Lobo, Rosati, Walters, and Sales, and the result was a national championship for the University of Connecticut. Now the faces have changed, the names have changed, but the excellence is there. The #1 ranked Huskies are next. It has been quite a day here on the campus of the University of Connecticut. The men's football team advancing into the Division I AA quarterfinals next week with a win here this afternoon. The Connecticut men winning last night in Hartford. And tonight, here at a sold-out Gamble Pavilion, the Connecticut women will defend their #1 ranking in the country. They will be doing it against a very good Washington Husky team. Hello again, everybody. I'm Mike Gorman. Rebecca Lobo and Megan Patterson will be joining me again on Monday night here on CPTV. We're pleased to be joined tonight by one of the best analysts in the country right now in college basketball, and that, of course, is Doris Burke. And Doris, much has been written and said about the young freshman on this Connecticut team, but off that UCLA game, this is still Svetlana's team.
Oh, no question. There's plenty of star quality players on this Connecticut club, but no one has shined more brightly than Svetlana. She's very tough to guard one-on-one. She's perfectly suited for the running, pressing, up-tempo, open-floor game. Came 1 assist shy of a triple-double in just 27 minutes of action. She spearheads this club.
Missed 8 free throws in that game. Could have had a 40 without much trouble. Now, Washington's a good basketball team. They've been to the NCAA tournament the last 2 years, and Jamie Redd is a very, very good player.
Well, she's led this club in scoring the past 2 years. She's a 2-time Pac-10 all-first-team performer. But the most important thing she brings to this club tonight is the fact that she's a senior. She absolutely must take control of the backcourt. She's a capable scorer, will get a lot of shots, but she's got to control the tempo and not let things get out of control here at Gamble.
All right, should be interesting. The Huskies against the Huskies. Amber Hall, one of the better players on Washington, a little under the weather. We'll talk about that as the night goes on. We'll see who prevails. Sit back and relax. The lineups when we get back. As usual, a sellout crowd here on hand at the Gamble Pavilion. Ready to see their Huskies for the first time on a home court here. Well, let's check out the starting lineups with Chris Monahan.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Harry A. Gamble Pavilion. Tonight, your #1 nationally ranked Connecticut Huskies host the Washington Huskies. And now here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the University of Washington. A 5'10 senior from San Francisco, California, number 11, Jamie Redd. A 5'10 sophomore from Leavenworth, Washington, number 14, Megan Franza. A 6'1 senior from Vancouver, British Columbia, number 23, Amber Hall. A 5'6 sophomore from Goldendale, Washington, number 32, Jill Pimley. And a 6'3 senior from South Jordan, Utah, number 34, Melinda Lynch. Washington assistant coaches are Sonny Smallwood, Mike Doherty, and Hewlett Brooks. The head coach in her 3rd season is June Doherty. And now the starting lineup for your #1 nationally ranked University of Connecticut Huskies. A 5'10 freshman from Syosset, New York, number 10, Sue Bird.
Y'all ready for this?
A 6'2 freshman from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, number 23, Swin Cash. A 6'2" sophomore from St. Petersburg, Russia, number 25, Svetlana Abrosimova. A 6'5" junior from Midwest City, Oklahoma, number 41, Paige Sauer. And a 5'11" senior from Bethesda, Maryland, number 22, Amy Duran. Connecticut assistant coaches are Jamel Elliott, Tanya Cardoza, and Rita Williams. The associate head coach is Chris Daly.
Gino Auriemma with his first game in a while as the coach of the #1 team in the country. We'll see how it goes. Back for the tip in just a moment. Mike Gorman, Doris Burke back out here at the Gamble Pavilion. Glad you could join us here on a Saturday night as Svetlana Abrosimova and the rest of the Huskies are ready to play for real for the first time before the home crowd. And Jamie Redd getting a close-up look, Doris, at what big-time basketball is all about here.
No question. Spoke to June Doherty, the head coach from Washington, about an hour before the game, and she said, we brought our club out here because we wanted them to see what big-time basketball is all about. We're a solid program, but we want to be where Connecticut's at.
Let's look at June Doherty, her husband, one of the assistant coaches over there on the Washington bench. Tap is controlled by Paige Sauer, and we are underway. We're going to watch number 23, Amber Hall, closely here in the opening minutes, playing with a sprained ankle. First time she's played in about a week and a half. Washington needs Amber Hall to play well to stay in this game. Liz Svet with her own miss. Inside, Sauer for two.
Well, the one thing you can't do against Svetlana is once she releases a shot, you got to put a body on her. She's a great rebounder, averages 11 coming into this one.
Franzer will handle the ball a lot in the backcourt with Redd.
Both clubs open man-to-man. Connecticut would like to go full-court pressure most of the evening.
2 in the shot clock. Lynch knows it. Can't hit the outside jumper. Amy Duran starts to break the other way. Svetlana tripped from behind, unintentional. But the foul will go on Jamie Redd.
Well, advantage, disadvantage. You got to call that one because Svet would have turned it over had it not been. But you look at the faces of these Washington players, Mike, and they actually look pretty calm. Much more calm than I expected them to be coming into Gamble.
Paige Sauer turns it over top of the key. Took an extra step after the catch.
Gino has never had a club. He's had some great teams here, Mike, but he's never been this deep.
The coat is off early here tonight. The second violation called. Lynch caught no
One thing you want to do if you're Washington is get some points on the board here early and not turn it over. Connecticut's too good a club. You've got to limit your mistakes. Basically, play a perfect game.
Svet in the lane, partially blocked by Lynch. They got a late call, and I think they got Lynch with the foul.
I'm not sure there's many more than a handful of players who are capable of checking Svetlana one-on-one. You've got to throw somebody at her.
Number 34, Melinda Lynch. Her first personal foul, second on the team.
You're throwing Jamie Redd at her, Mike, but they have got to get some help defense from the other perimeter players. Franza and Kimley have got to be aware. And what Gino is fond of saying is Svet gets the ball. Svet, take her. She can't check you.
One of 2 at the line, and that has been the story. Svet all year long, shooting just 50%. Sauer's little baseline jumper won't go. That's knocked out of bounds by Redd, and the Huskies will keep it. Redd, the senior from San Francisco, will finish the year, in all probability, as the all-time leading scorer at Washington. You've got Amber Hall with the push in the back.
Yeah, she's checking cash on the right block there, and as soon as as soon as 2 hands go on the offensive player, it's an immediate foul call. No warning from the official.
Washington foul number 23, Amber Hall.
Abrosimova misses the baseline jumper. She stripped by Redd. gets two.
We were talking before the game. You saw Red last year against Purdue, and she's got great quickness, explosiveness.
And no conscience, because she took 26 shots in a game about a week ago. Little backdoor cut by Amy Duran, and Paige Sowers pass a little ahead of it.
And this, a little strip by Red. Bird not aware. And the bucket on the other end.
Red now bringing it up against the full court. She gives it up to Franza in the forecourt. Hall putting it on the floor. Tough shot.
With the opposite hand, going away.
Screaming. Washington, the 1-point lead here, 2.5 minutes in. Cash, the quick spin, and Hall slaps it away. Cash gets it back. Out of bounds. Huskies are going to keep it as Lynch was out of bounds as she scrambled for it.
Well, early on, rebounding a problem. This Washington club comes in being out-rebounded by 5 a game. They've got to compete on the glass.
Cash again. Always there with the deflection, out of bounds. And this time it'll come back to Washington. So Amber Hall, I give her high grades off the first 3 minutes here.
No question. She's also battling bronchitis along with that sprained ankle. The shooting thus far, Washington right where they want to be. Again, no nerves. That's half the battle when you play at Gamble, if you can come in with some poise.
One of the things, though, Darcy and I were talking about, Connecticut with their pressure just forced so many possessions in this game.
Yeah, they get so much off their pressure through their first 3 games. This is a club, Connecticut, that averages 73 shots a game, along with 40 foul shots. I mean, that's just nothing short of remarkable.
Shea Ralph up off Gino Auriemma's bench along with Tamika Williams.
Shea coming off 28 points, career high versus UCLA. It's been a long time for that young lady to get back on the court.
Amber Hall trying to squeeze a bounce pass through, kicked out of bounds by Paige Sauer. You wondered when Shea Ralph came back whether or not any of that fire would be gone. That was answered pretty quickly. None.
No, and the thing you worry about when someone hurts a knee as badly as she did is, will she be as quick? Will she have the movement? Well, she is as fast north and south as she's ever been. I mean, I don't think she'd say that, but from our respect, it doesn't look like she's lost much.
Linda Lynch knocks down a 3 outside, and it's 9-3 Washington. Husky faithful, a little restless. Sauer, Svet on the cut, no. Gets her own miss again. Second offensive rebound for Bosanova. Keeps the dribble alive. Takes it to the basket. That won't stay. And Lynch and Hall combine.
Well, she was 14-17 against UCLA. A little bit colder to start this one.
You knew Red was pulling up on that one. This is the 3. Henry there. Back to Red. She'll take it again and makes it that time. Jamie Red now 5th all-time on the scoring list with that basket at Washington.
Over 1,500 points, and as you said, no conscience. She might miss 10 and still put it up.
Backdoor, Shea Ralph for 2.
Well, the tempo of this one, in Connecticut's first 3 games, the tempo seemed faster. Washington has gotten this to a respectable level.
Knocked out of bounds. Lynch the last to touch it. And we are going to get our first time out, but a bit of a surprise on the scoreboard. It's 11-5 Washington. We are back 11-5. The other Huskies on top, and Amber Hall looks okay so far.
Well, you like to have your seniors on the floor. She's hurting a bit, about 70%, but doesn't look bad on that shot right there. She also made 2 real solid defensive plays on the other end against Swin Cash. So although they were worried she's got bronchitis, she's got a very bad ankle, but playing like the senior she is.
Heather Reichman has checked in for the first time for Washington. Lynch goes to the bench. That'll help the shooting.
That 71% you saw a moment ago by Washington to start this game. This club comes in averaging under 40% from the floor, so they've started off pretty strong.
And the Huskies have been holding people in the 30s.
Exactly.
Red with a pull-up jumper knocks that one down.
She's tough to guard because she keeps it legitimate with a jump shot, but can go very strong to her right hand off penetration.
You got Amber Hall with a hand check there, and that'll be her second personal foul. I actually thought that Tamika Williams ran with it a little bit when she got the pass.
The travel looked like it came first. The call on the block this year will be if the arm straightens out. If post defenders straighten the arm on contact, then it's going to be called. So Hall will check out of this one.
Washington foul number 23, Amber Hall. Her second personal foul.
Julia Gray checks in, and Washington gets a crucially small.
Had games this year where they put 4 guards on the floor at the same time, go with very small, quick lineup.
Reichman left open. They need to make that shot. Rebound control by Williams.
Washington focused on getting back in transition defense. They don't want to give up any easy shots.
Svetlana rips it away from Gray, but a jump ball is called, and it's going to come back to Washington on the alternating possession.
So Gino's got to be concerned with this one. A team that's averaging 105 points a game through 6 minutes has only managed to put up 7.
Lands up, nice little crossover move to the basket. Came up short on the layup. A blocking foul, though, is called underneath.
Once you get beat off the dribble, you look for your teammates to back you up. Shea Ralph didn't give enough help. She was on the strong side with the ball. She just sort of reached in. And then Asia Jones, who came over in defensive help, just didn't get there in time.
At the line for Washington,
First foul on Asia Jones, and the first on the team. And I'm not sure that's a very good sign for Connecticut 7 minutes in to only have committed 1 foul.
No question. When you look at the first 3 games, they were so aggressive on the defensive end. The pressure, the tempo, you said, just relentless.
Renzo 1 of 2 at the line, and Sue Bird there with the miss. 14-7. Washington has doubled up UConn here in the first 6+ minutes of action. Inside, Cash spinning. 2.
She's taking advantage of Amber Hall going out, using her quickness to get around down on the block.
Made basket gives the Huskies a chance to get back into the pressure. Jamie Redd brings it up herself. Good look ahead. Friends are deep. Can't get the 3 to stay down. Simona. The quick advance to Bird. Alone.
Henley went out. And now your guards have got to recognize, hey, somebody's got to stay back in safety. Nobody there for Washington.
Jamie Redd, the catch and fire, short with the 3. I'm not sure a quick shots are the answer for Washington, because stuff like this is going to happen.
Exactly. The thing you need to do, and June knows it, so she gets a timeout right here. Let's work clock. You can't let Connecticut get all those opportunities.
Huskies have 13 points, and 7 different players have scored.
Well, quick shots. They're not rebounding the ball in the offensive glass. And Connecticut, everybody releases once the rebound is gathered. And Williams does an outstanding job running the floor. Svet has rebounded the ball so well. I said she was averaging 11. She's actually averaging just under 10, but she releases quickly to Bird. And Bird sees the floor as well as any point guard.
That's a great fast break when you can go end line to end line with just 1 dribble.
Yes. Ball never touched the floor after the first pass.
entering the lineup for Washington.
The double team on Franza. She's able to get rid of it. Skip past to Gray.
Connecticut runs a little run and jump there with the trap, and Washington handles it.
Reichman buries a 3.
See, when you scramble like that, if you're not successful in the run and jump, you're susceptible to wide open jump shots, and Washington took advantage.
First 3 of the year for Reichman. Shea Ralph down the hole, taking it to the basket, and Sorensen's going to pick up that foul.
Told me, she said, though we haven't faced the athleticism of this Connecticut club, we have faced the pressure. Their first 3 opponents looked to go 94 feet. They ran a lot of run and jump, which is something Connecticut will do. So she said, we're pretty comfortable with that. We expect to turn it over some, but we expect to take advantage of that pressure.
Lynch is back into the game, and Sorensen goes out. Shea, 85% for the year at the line, makes them both. Huskies back to within 2. Gray against the pressure. Nearly picked on. Is stolen by Shea Ralph. Bird ahead, across the over. She'll get to the line.
That's the kind of pressure and opportunities you were speaking of earlier. They didn't get the initial trap. They threw that little diamond at you, and though they didn't get the trap initially, Shea Ralph recovers, picks it off, and then everybody starts running. If you're a player, you just love this system because you're going to get many opportunities in transition.
Melinda Lynch picking up that foul, her second. Svet back at the free throw line where she's 1 of 2. You look at that stroke right there and you say that's an 80% free throw shoot. It's hard to figure why she's at 50.
And the thing is, she can't shoot 50% because of the game she plays. She's a slasher. She's going to get to the foul line awful lot. You got to always say, hey, she could have had a 46-point outburst against UCLA instead of the 39.
Talks that one in.
The diamond look.
That was just a tough play for Heather Reichman. I mean, there's not a lot she could do.
Against this pressure, June Doherty's club can't think first pass. You got to think second pass.
Huskies looking for their first lead of the night. Inside, Cash. No, missed the easy one. And Red up there big for the miss.
She's got some leaping ability, Red.
And another turnover as Sheets was trying to do too much. 11:55 left to go here first half. Huskies come back to tie it at 17. 17 apiece. Husky pressure is starting to take a bit of a toll here, Darce.
Well, everybody's up high, and they get the ball in bounds, but then Reichman nowhere to go. And again, the point I was trying to make, you don't think first pass against this Connecticut pressure. You've got to be thinking ahead because that trap's going to come. When that ball comes in, trap is coming. You've got to be able to release it quickly. And Ralph and Svetlana both read those lanes extremely well.
Paige Sauer back in the game. The high post finds Svetlana open on a wing. Time to set her feet. Misses the 3. And once again, it is Red up big for the rebound. Nice look ahead to Franza. Left-handed shot won't go, but Sue Bird's going to pick up that foul.
Well, right now, Washington has a small lineup on the floor. So what does Red do? She goes down from the guard position to give support on the glass. And I'm sure June Doherty told her in the break, hey, we're not that big with Hall out. Let's get some rebounds.
First personal foul. Second on the team. At the line for Washington, shooting 2, Megan Franza.
This is a Washington club who really this year started to force the issue in terms of running and pressing. And we were a little bit surprised talking to the coaching staff, Mike, of whether or not they would choose to run with Connecticut. They said, we're going to play with our game. We've got to do what we do best, and that's run and press as well.
Well, Washington last year at one point was ranked as high as number 7 in the country. So June Doherty's got a good thing going out there. Ralph open. No. Outside shot not falling at all for the Huskies, and Svetlana is going to be called for the foul. I'm not sure the official at half court wasn't about to signal a travel.
I think Gino agrees with you. If there is a weakness on this club, I mean, this is as strong a Connecticut club as I've ever seen, Mike, but if there is a weakness, you wonder, can they consistently shoot the outside jump shot, and that where it may be where Amy Duran comes into the picture.
Number 34, Tamika Williams, and number 15, Asia Jones, replacing Swift Cash and Paige Sauer.
Gray able to get it across. Nice pass inside. Sheets for 2.
Beat the defense, thread the needle. That's a freshman out there, coming off 18 points against Gonzaga.
Down low, Williams trying to power her way along the baseline, and they've got Sheets for the block.
Williams, the headliner of this class, National Player of the Year.
Washington foul number 42, Leanne Sheets. Her first personal foul, 7th on the team.
So with just under 11 minutes to go, Huskies are going to be shooting a lot of free throws here. And as Doris mentioned, they've been averaging 40 attempts a game.
Gino has had to change his coaching style a little bit this year because of the depth that he has. I mean, he's typically a 7-man rotation, and now he can go legitimately 10 deep.
Checking back in for
Amy Duran coming in, and Sue Bird goes out. 10:59 left to go here first half. Washington by 2 in the ball. Gray, nice look. Friends are with time. Buries it.
Well, they had numbers initially. It looked like they might get a nice easy layup, but instead they have to shoot the jump shot but knock it down anyway.
Washington has done a great job of taking the crowd out of this game too. In low, Williams, count it.
She's operating against a zone. Washington primarily likes to play man-to-man, but against a Connecticut club with this much talent, you go zone. But look at the mobility of Williams. Has to split 2 defenders. She's got a great frame. Squares up beautifully. Shooting 66% from the floor. Pretty impressive for freshmen.
7 points for Tamika off the bench. The Huskies 8 of 9 at the line, and back to it again too. Svetlana the steal. Last touch by Jamie Red.
It's right in front of us. Looks like Stan made a great call, Stan Gaxiola. The crowd wants a foul, though. I think that's what they're booing for. Svet took a pretty good shot. Let's take a look at the hustle. Red thinks she's got the pressure beat. She forgets about Svet from behind. And that's why the crowd booing the contact right there in that play.
Back live, Tamika Williams was fouled, and she'll find herself back at the free throw line again.
Washington foul number 4.
Some concern about Tamika Williams. She had an MRI yesterday, but Jody Hotzen told us just prior to the game that came back negative. She's all set. So good news for Gino Auriemma.
Tamika in her first real game before the home crowd, looking every bit like the high school player of the year.
As you said, it has been a quiet crowd thus far. They had to be chomping at the bit to welcome the best recruiting class in the nation.
9 first half points for Williams. We're tied again at 24. Red can't answer the call. Shea Ralph with the rebound, and once again the Huskies a chance for a lead. I don't think they have led in the first 10 minutes of this game. Duran inside, Ralph in traffic. She'll get to the free throw line. Gray will pick up that foul.
The versatility of Svet and Shea is amazing. Shea, who's all north to south, loves to attack the basket. That time he elects to back down on the post.
Personal foul, 10th on the team.
Svetlana, I think she raised a few eyebrows early on, named a candidate for preseason Naismith Player of the Year. She keeps putting up numbers like she did against UCLA. That's a legitimate selection.
Averaging 23 a game through the first 3. Only 3 points though so far here in the first half. Reichman. Look for Red inside.
Great patience. Jones backed off, and that allowed Reichman to take a look. Good vision, good passing from the post player.
Jamie Red in double figures with 10. Washington grabs back the lead. Asia Jones to the basket.
Penetration. So many players who can break you down off the dribble for this Connecticut club.
8 different Huskies have scored in the game. They lead by 1. Franza. Misses outside. Ball still alive. Williams quick advance to Ralph. 2-on-1 with the Brasimova. Bounce pass. Nicely done.
Beautifully executed. Ralph knows she's got to draw the defender before she makes the kick. She does it, and then the sweet bounce pass.
Ralph comes up with another steal. Huskies by 3 and looking for more. 7th steal of the night. Inside, Williams. Got it! And a foul.
This looks like one of the Connecticut runs that you've got to withstand. If you're a Connecticut opponent, you know they're going to have this kind of outburst, and you've just got to kind of take a standing 8 and say, all right, let's get back together.
Here's a good look by Abrasimova inside, and
For her first personal foul.
A little surprised we haven't seen Amber Hall check back into this game. She looked real strong to start.
she did, yeah, good point. Trying to save her there, I thought, with 2 fouls for a while, but
In Washington substitutions, number 44 Cheryl Sorensen, 32 Jill Pinley.
Sue Bird is going to be called for the foul, riding Red up the sideline.
Amber Hall should be smart enough to play. Give June Doherty about 4 or 5 minutes here in the stretch so it doesn't get out of hand.
Paige Sauer back in.
5th on the team. Correction, 4th on the team. Checking back in for Connecticut, Paige Sauer replaces Tamika
Pinley
Williams.
now at the point, number 32. Sorensen misses outside. Sauer there. Quickly, here's Bird on the break. Bounce pass Jones. Little spin. No. Rebound. Sauer with the follow. Got stripped by Franza. Franza, some nice moves with the dribble. Takes it all the way for 2.
Pretty big time play on both ends. The strip to get it going.
Washington refusing to go away. Offensive foul. Paige Sauer.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Crowd doesn't like it. I think it's a very solid call, Mike. You've got to take those hits. Gino disagrees. You got to take the hits and respond. And Washington did. They were down 5. Franza brings them right back.
7:52 left to go here first half. Washington continues to hang around, down just 3. 3-point UConn lead at 31-28. Glad you could join us here on a Saturday night. Heck of a play here by Megan Friend.
Well, it looked like 6'5" Paige Sauer was going to have her way, but the strip by Franza, she's got to beat several defenders, does, and kisses it with the right hand. Connecticut had made a huge run, got up 5, and she answered it. They're down 3. Franza, a 4-time heptathlete champion in Washington State High School.
There you go. That's how she could pull that off.
She's a pretty good athlete. You should take a look at the field goal shooting. Washington well above their season average.
Yeah,
and
that's very impressive to come in here and hit 11 of your first 19 shots.
particularly with young guards that they've got outside of Red. You're looking at freshmen and sophomores in the backcourt.
Abrasimova slapped it away. Saved Franza a little bit by slapping that away. Red pull-up jumper. Pinley kicks it back out.
Smart decision.
Inside, Huckman with the hook for 2.
Well, you know Connecticut's going to pick up their defensive pressure, so you have to be patient.
Inside, Asia Jones free for 2.
Just a miscommunication, a little breakdown defensively for Washington. Good patience against the pressure. Washington not bringing it anywhere near the traps. They expect the trap, so they're trying to release before it comes.
Down to 5 in the shot clock. They get it to Red. She's aware of it. The runner short. Rebound loose. Pinley picks it up. Pinley, a very opportunistic player.
Second offensive rebound for her. Something Washington hasn't done this game is hit the offensive glass.
They list Pinley at 5'6", and that might be a stretch. She tries to go through the back door. It's kicked. And Washington will get it and a reset of the clock with 6:27 to go in the half. Kirsten Walters is going to make her first appearance of the night. She'll come in for Sue Bird.
Entering the lineup for Connecticut, number 14, Kirsten Walters.
Amber Hall now back in with 6.5 to go. Reichman to the Washington bench.
You've got to be absolutely thrilled if you're June Doherty. You've got the steadying influence of Hall now back on the floor, and you're only down 3. You gave her the rest she needed as well.
Amy Durant not biting on the crossover moves. Asia Jones getting in there and crossing the jump ball. It's going to come back to UConn.
Good guard drop as well from Walters. She released and went down to give help.
Amber Hall waving to the bench saying no, but she's limping. And she's coming out.
So a quick couple of minutes in going down for that loose ball. She might have turned that ankle the wrong way.
For Washington, number 3, Julia Gray, and number 34, Melinda Lynch, replacing Jill Kinley.
We'll keep an eye on Amber Hall.
This is just a straight 2-3 zone.
Once again, Gray, quick up the middle, takes it right to the basket. Can't hit the follower though. Drops him over with the miss. Red is back defensively, and from behind, Sorensen with the foul.
Well, Sauer got a real good look against that 2-3 zone. She stepped right to the foul line in between the two guards. Got a great look. Got to knock those down.
Williams and Ralph will be coming in next whistle. Gino continues to go to the bench, which has been productive tonight. 4 or 5 shooting tonight for Svet at the line. 6 points overall.
5 consecutive 30-win seasons by Gino Auriemma in this Connecticut club. Unprecedented in the history of women's basketball. La Tech, the closest. Leon Barmore had 4 consecutive 30-plus wins, but nothing short of remarkable. Gino, point well noted over his career here, took over a program that had 1 winning season prior to his arrival.
He's done okay.
He's done all right. It's the ultimate compliment when you become the standard bearer in your industry. People are shooting to become the Connecticut or that other team down in Knoxville.
And Paige Sauer call for the foul. Gino not liking that call at all.
He had the call against Paige on the offensive end where she was called for the charge he disagreed with. That one looked very clean.
Connecticut foul, number 41, Paige Sauer. Her second personal foul.
That's 2 on Paige, and it gets Kelly Schumacher up to the scorer's table. Lynch knocks down the free throw.
Entering the lineup for Connecticut, number 11.
And Paige Sauer will come right back out.
Sauer, the MVP of that 4 in the fall that Connecticut opened up in sight of the Final Four, San Jose.
Lynch 2 for 2. And Washington down just 3. Oh, nice little touch pass. Schumacher unable to convert, but a nice pass by Williams.
Well, June staying with the 2-3 zone, though Connecticut's getting good looks, they're not converting.
Jamie Red ties the game. 13 for Red here in the first half. It's 35 apiece.
Red's one of those players as a coach who, if she's struggling, you just want to shoot her, and if she's on like she is tonight, you're saying yes.
Williams for 2 more. 13 for Tamika.
So strong and so mobile inside.
Gray runs into a trap, able to get it to Red. Red looks like she wants to try to take Ralph one-on-one. Sorensen missing outside. Red battling for the rebound, tipped out of bounds. Red the last to touch it.
You need Red to be as active as you can. Shea Ralph was over there, and their bodies collided. Connecticut will come away with it, but Red is doing all the things you expect your senior best player to do.
Walters now at the point. Svet, a little pull-up, short with it. Those other shots, needless to say, they were going down in the first 3 games.
This 2-3 zone is really a pretty fundamental defense that Connecticut facing, and they're moving the ball extremely well. They're going inside out. They're getting the looks.
Nice defensive play there by Kirsten Walters, causing the tie-up. Asa Jones comes in. Schumacher to the bench. We're approaching 4 minutes to play here, first half. UConn by just 2.
In for Connecticut, Swift Cash and Asia Jones replacing
Franz, a little pull-up for the tie, and she buries it.
You get the defense to commit. A real aggressive defender, you use a little shot fake and then put the dribble to go around and get a nice shot.
Asia Jones. And I think they might have swing cash over the back or just out of bounds. I'm not sure which. Either way, it's coming back to Washington. But first, we're going to get a timeout. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. A surprise here at Campbell. It's a tie game. To play here in the first half, and a chance to remind you this copyrighted telecast is glad you could join us here on a Saturday night, and a major surprise in the works. And Washington has the ball and a chance for the lead with 3:40 to go in the half.
This is the way to start a road trip out. This Washington club, 11 days on the road. They left their home yesterday, or excuse me, Thanksgiving morning. They've yet to travel to Florida International and then go face a very tough Illinois club after this.
Jamie Red with that Allen Iverson kind of crossover move.
Should get her shots.
Yeah. Nobody's really been on it yet, but looks good. The Penleys are very solid.
Smart, just very smart.
Deep three by Red. She's got 16 first half points.
And gives Washington their lead again.
That foul, I think, is going to go on Cash, maybe?
Like she was the only white jersey down there.
Yeah.
You got it right. And the three-point shooting, June Doherty said our club has got to shoot from the perimeter. 5 of 11 is very respectable. A club coming in who shoots 23% from behind the arc. She said we're a better shooting team than that percentage would indicate, and they've proven that.
Stacey Hansmeyer in off the bench gets a nice welcome from the crowd. Asia Jones sits down. Gino Auriemma looking for some answers on that bench right now.
Hansmeyer, who was a starter a year ago, part-time starter anyway, has seen limited minutes.
Red missing the front end. Williams looking low, gets it into Hansmeyer. She turns.
Once again, great ball movement. And Hansmeyer connects on an easy shot.
And a traveling violation is called on Red. You know who has played well off the UConn bench is Walters. Done a nice job defensively, caused a couple of turnovers and a tie-up. That's the 9th Washington turnover of the first half.
Trying to earn some minutes.
Nicely done.
Just every pass with a purpose. Ball movement will break any zone down eventually, and Connecticut using lots of touches to break down Washington.
UConn back up 1. They trap Red right in front of Gino Auriemma, who looks like he's part of the trap with his hands up over there.
A couple of poor decisions. You don't stop on the sideline when you play this Connecticut club. They love to trap, and everybody else cheats up in the passing lanes. Here it is. Red picks up her dribble. This is the second time she's gotten herself in trouble in almost the same spot.
I'll tell you, Kirsten Walters has been right in the middle of all of this. Ralph for 2.
Made some very solid defensive plays. Has been involved with a lot of the traps, Walters.
Once again, she causes the tie-up. And Doris, you know so much better than I how much of this game is confidence. And something like this for this kid's confidence will be unbelievable.
Absolutely. And sometimes you have to start to build your confidence on the defensive side, because if you're not shooting the ball or you're not even getting a lot of looks, if you can make some things happen defensively.
Red, little up and under, won't stay down, and someone pushed her.
thought she overdid it there. I mean, she beat the pressure, but then she had to use a little double clutch to get it off. Fortunate to come away with some foul shots here.
Connecticut foul number 20, Stacey
Hensmeyer with the little shot.
Checking back in for Washington, number 3, Julia Gray.
They're not backing down. You know, coming in against Connecticut, you will turn the ball over. There's no question. Eventually, the pressure will take some effect on you. But you just have to try to minimize that and keep attacking.
Well, at the pace we're going at here, I mean, if Washington can come into Gamble and beat Connecticut in a 90-point game, then you just got to take your hat off to them.
Absolutely.
Move on to next week. 43-41. Hansmeyer looking inside. Ralph overran for 2.
So tough. So tough. Ralph, once she gets close.
And Shea Ralph and Kirsten Walters combine again to cause the turnover.
You called Walters on that defensive end. And again, 3 straight times when Red comes up the sideline, she gets herself in trouble.
The UConn bench has contributed 30 of the 45 points tonight. Hansmeyer.
How many teams in the country do you think would like to have a performer like Shea Ralph come off the bench?
Amy Duran with the quick hands this time. Sarah Duncan is going to check back in for Washington. Jamie Red is going to sit down here with 42 seconds to play in the half.
Well, the sidelines have meant nothing but trouble for June Doherty's club. At the halftime, she's going to say, keep the ball in the middle of the floor, be aware of people behind, and continue to go to the basket.
The only one who has successfully brought it up the middle has been Gray, the freshman.
Right. There are certain spots on a floor where teams like to trap, and Connecticut obviously likes to trap once that ball comes over half court.
Remember how we were remarking that Connecticut had, what, 7 points in the first 6 minutes of the game? Now they're still looking at a 47-point half here.
I was talking to Matt Devlin, the radio play-by-play man for Connecticut. He said, hey, they faced a very tough Arkansas club. And it was close, And he said, the next thing I know, I look up and they're down, they're up 30. And this club will just put it on you.
Great move by Gray with the dribble, and Franza unable to finish at the other end. Hansmeyer battling Gray, the loose ball. Washington can take the last shot here. You would think they would want to do that. They take it a little early, but Sheets is there with the miss. And there's Kirsten Walters once again keeping it alive. Duran ahead. Ralph. No. Tamika Williams missed it anyway, but it wouldn't have counted. An extremely entertaining first half here at Gamble as the Washington Huskies have come into play, but Connecticut has responded. Our score at the half, the Connecticut Huskies 47, the Huskies of Washington 41. Welcome back to Gamble, everybody. 47-41, our halftime score. The #1 ranked Connecticut Huskies with the 6-point lead. I'm Mike Gorman along with Doris Burke tonight. We'll take a look at some highlights from the first half. And Washington just definitely came to play right from the get-go, and Jamie Red as good as her press clippings.
Well, we talked about her in the open because we said the senior had to step up and provide poise. She did more than that. She led this team in scoring in the first half, gets herself in trouble. You called it all first half. Kirsten Walters did an outstanding job defensively, forcing that turnover right there. Makes the bounce down. Great ball movement there by Connecticut. Ralph eventually gets the bucket. Connecticut, an outstanding job against the zone, passing the ball, shooting the ball, however, just 46%.
48% shooting. That's a bigger surprise right there for Washington, as the Huskies have been holding people down in the 30s. But no fear in the eyes of Washington here tonight. 21-20. That also a surprise, though.
Well, they had to compete on the glass coming in. They had been out-rebounded by 5 in their first 3 games. They competed on the glass. They did a pretty good job handling the pressure. 13 turnovers for them. If you had given me that number before the game, I said it would have been a 15-point differential, but it's only 6.
Husky starters really struggling in the game as we take a look at the leading scorers. And as you can see, Red really putting the numbers up there. 17 points. Franza, a nice solid job with 9. Reichman and Lynch with 5 apiece. On the other side, for UConn. Williams off the bench with 13. Ralph off the bench with 13. Jones with 4. Abrasimova, 5 of those 7 coming from the free throw line. She was just 1 of 8 in the first half. Swin Cash just 1 of 5. Sauer 1 for 3. The starting lineup was 5 for, as I try to do some
18.
quick math here. Thank you very much.
Well, that's pretty remarkable, but again, the depth of this Connecticut club is what gets to you, and eventually the pressure wears you down. Svetlana coming off a 14 of 17 shooting performance. I can't see her continuing to struggle shooting the basketball. Too good a player.
Sue Bird will start in the backcourt. You know, and as smooth as the transition has been for Tamika Williams from high school to college, it's been kind of bumpy for Sue Bird so far.
She's not shot the ball very well at all. Bird in high school averaged 16 points, 9 assists. Not putting up those kinds of numbers yet.
His Cash turns to the basket, has it partially blocked, but then Lynch unable to control it. It's good to see Amber Hall is back out there starting the second half for Washington after she limped off the tail end of the first half.
And I thought her presence in that first half, the first few minutes, was huge. She made some good, solid defensive plays.
Amy Duran, little trouble getting it in, finds Svet. 2 on the shot clock. Svet realizes it can't hit it, gets her own miss, and puts it in.
I said in the first half, the worst thing you can do when Svet shoots the ball is turn your back on her. Immediately step to her and put a body on her.
Huskies by 8. I believe that's the biggest lead of the night. Amy Duran with the near steal, and it's off Lynch, out of bounds.
Well, the pressure, it looked like Duran a step late to get up in that passing lane off the trap, but Washington goes off their leg. Now you talk about Bird maybe having a little bit of bumps in the road. Point guard is probably the toughest position to play on the floor.
Absolutely.
So gotta give her a little bit of leeway, and I think her shooting will come around.
Svetlana grabbed on the way by Franzer, I believe.
Washington foul number 14.
Well, every coach will tell you the first few minutes of each half critical. I mean, you've heard it over and over and over again. But
number 34, Tamika Williams.
Just like that, it's a 10-point advantage.
Huskies continue with the pressure. Williams gets the turnover, and Lynch is going to be called for the foul. And quickly, June Doherty, wants a timeout.
Excuse me, Mike. Can't inbound the ball below that close to the end line and then make that pass right back underneath your opponent's basket. You're just asking for trouble.
Washington foul number 34, Belinda Lynch, her 3rd personal foul, 2nd on the team.
Well, this, a little feed from Duran. We've talked about Williams' mobility. Just goes right around the defense.
Too easy, though.
Oh, absolutely. You must make Connecticut work for their shots.
And again, not to beat a dead horse here, but Connecticut 7 points in the first 6 minutes of this game, and now back on a pace to get 100 again in the game.
Well, I think this club has got a legitimate shot. No women's basketball team in the country has ever averaged 100 points in a single season. I think Gino's club has got a real shot of that.
Here's Bird to the basket, stripped on the way in and lost it out of bounds.
Went off her foot. Looked like she had the defense beat, but on the reach, and it goes off her.
Hall still having a little trouble on that ankle. Got away with a little hop step there on the catch. Red looking for a screen, gets one, keeps the dribble alive, takes it to the basket, comes up short. Hall able to track it down and save it to Franza. Misses the 3, rebound tipped by Franza and controlled by Pimley.
Great hustle on a gimpy leg by both Amber Hall and Franza.
Amy Duran the near steal. It'll remain Washington ball as Reichman checks back in.
Amy Duran well up in the passing lane. When you see defenders come that far out on the perimeter, go back door. You don't have a choice. They are forcing you into it. Washington's got to read and go back door.
Hall
That's a travel. She most certainly got away with a hop step.
Just kind of hurled that up there, too. Here's one of those that brought some over turnovers we were talking about earlier. Trying to make that perfect pass.
She averages 5 assists, but gives it away 5 times, too.
Brossum over the top. A jump ball is called as she ties up Amber Hall. Washington will keep it on the alternating possession. Swin Cash will come back in for the Huskies. And Tamika Williams will go out. Williams sits down with a Husky high 15. Red is the leading scorer in the game with 17. Hall, nice catch too.
They go with the lob. That's just a little step up screen, and she fades back.
Sauer the other way.
Sauer's been quiet, but a nice job by her to run the floor.
Red stripped. Brossum over. Yes, and a foul.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Jamie Red putting it on the floor, gets herself in trouble. If you can break pressure without using the bounce, you're better off. Svet, ever mindful of where the basketball is, does a great job. And boy, can she score even with a body on her.
Svet now with a dozen, and Baker's dozen the lead right now, and another turnover.
This is where Connecticut smells blood, and you get a little sense of that, and they go at you. And just like that, it's 13. What was a 6-point advantage is now ballooned to 13.
Duran looking to inbound. Svet squeezes it up, gets 2 more.
Big time shot. June has already used 1. She doesn't want to use another one. Gino knows very well his club's got him on the ropes, and he's calling for more pressure.
It's a great trap on Red right there. It went off Cash out of bounds, but that is just a killer trap.
They're inbounding it to the worst spot. The Swin Cash doesn't even have to move to step the trap.
Svetlana the steal, trying to get it through on the cut. And June Doherty has seen enough. She's going to take that timeout right now. Just 2 minutes and 45 seconds into the second half. And the hometown fans liking what they see. 58-43. Suddenly it's a 15-point game, and I mean suddenly.
Oh, no question. What was a very evenly played game, all of a sudden looks like it got out of control in a hurry.
Billboard called her the most successful woman songwriter of the rock era with 4 Grammys and several #1 hits. Count. Washington has hit just 1 of their last 8 shots. Getting shots is a real problem for them right now.
Getting it over half court has become a problem.
Svet trying to lay it down to Paige Sauer.
She will be aggressive. She'll give you some turnovers because of that.
That one's coming our way.
June used the 20 to try and set her press break. Look at that, 7 already.
Himley back in, and Gray goes out.
You're talking about 7 turnovers in 3 minutes, 2 seconds.
Drops them over. 16 now.
Coming out of halftime, we said we didn't think she'd stay cold. Too good a player.
It's like a half-court game we're watching now.
Checking back in for Connecticut, number 33, Shea Ralph. Replacing Amy Duran.
Amy Duran to the bench, Ralph in. Shea comes in with 13 points. Red off the side of the glass. Hall knocks it down and will get to the line.
I was surprised by the hesitation by Red. She was wide open. Off the miss, Amber Hall steps in and gets a much-needed Husky bucket.
Kirsten Walters will come in early here in the second half, offer a strong first half play. Bird and Sauer to the bench. Swin Cash has also come back in.
Well, Walters certainly earned those minutes by her defensive effort in the first half.
In Connecticut substitutions, number 15, Asia Jones, and number 14,
Minutes distribution becomes a real interesting thing for Chino Oriema.
And I'm guessing, I'm not sure what this call is here, but
Stan Gaxiola going over to the official timer.
I think it's a clock thing. Yeah. But that very potential problem that you just mentioned, I think, is what dictates this style of play for Gino.
Right. He could come
force
at you.
100 possessions over the course of a game, make people run, so that when they come to the bench, they're not complaining because they're a little out of breath, and then get them back in again.
That's right. And his first Final Four team went 6.5 players deep at best. Well, this gets June Doherty up off the bench. Now the shot clock is reset at 30, which cannot be, obviously. I think that's the question and point here. Now down, and that's what Stan had said when he first went over the scorer's table. He said 3 ticks off the clock, and he was referring to the shot clock.
Rosamova finds Ralph on the cut. Jones, the follow, no. Cash. Yes.
Relentless pressure, and then relentless on the glass, too. I mean, they've got some leapers, some athletes who can get up off their feet in a hurry.
And Shea Ralph ties up Jamie Red. Oh, excuse me, make that Walters again. And Ralph.
Another solid defensive play by the freshman from Colorado.
20 turnovers for Washington.
Amber Hall back to the bench. You can see she's really starting to get some pain with that ankle. I think the longer she goes, the more it's starting to affect her.
Now, help me here as a coach, okay? If you're Washington, do you really want to be doing this? Do you want to be pressing UConn?
No, absolutely not. Because you know what? It just gets the tempo going to UConn's liking.
Red coming up with the turnover. Red throws it off the glass. No. Abrasimova, another rebound.
And nobody running with Red. It took her teammates a couple minutes to realize she had the ball.
Last touch by Washington. And we have got a timeout. 15:32 left to go here. The Huskies' lead is 16. Connecticut fans breathing a little more comfortably here now in the second half. 62-46, a 16-point UConn lead.
And what was 13 first half turnovers has quickly ballooned to 20. Red puts it on the floor. Svet makes her pay with the strip, and then the finish close. And Svet has become much more active in the second half. Her shot has come around.
Ralph trying to force it through there to Cash. Kick back out. Svet in the paint. Little pull up. Won't get the bounce. Rebound. Asia Jones in there fighting for it. Couldn't control it.
You know, late in that first half, Washington went to the 2-3 zone, and they did a better job rebounding out of it. Though Connecticut got good looks, they rebounded the ball from that 2-3 zone.
Here's Svetlana with another steal. And throws it away, looking for Shea Ralph.
And Chino on the bench. He just leans back and shakes his head. There he is.
Another steal. Inside Cash, and she gets grabbed. Boy, the anticipation of Svetlana is remarkable.
She reads, but she moves in and out of the doghouse faster than any player I've ever seen. Steps up in the lane. This after she just picked and made a turnover. Move over, nice dog. Svet is moving in.
Keeping both teams in the game.
Oh. 16 points, 5 steals. We do not have her turnover number up there.
No basket. Connecticut foul number 23, Swift Cash.
Bad spot for Pimley.
Second on the team.
Walters, Abrasimova. No.
See, Connecticut, they just bait you into throwing it into the corner, the absolute worst spot. If you're going to entry into the corner against a diamond pressure, you must release it before the trap. You've got to do that. If you don't release it immediately, that gives everybody time on the defense to adjust. Everybody steps up into the right passing lane. You've got to know a step ahead.
In for Connecticut, number 34, Tamika Williams, replaces Swin Cash.
Numbers here on the break. Franza takes it all the way and gets 2.
Well, she made great decisions in the first half with the basketball in her hand. Another good one there.
It broke a streak of 5 possessions and 5 turnovers for Washington as Shea Ralph answers in a hurry. Franza to the basket again.
Well, she's a really nice player. She's got a great handle, can go either way with the dribble.
Svet has it taken away in traffic and then gets it back. Williams is stripped. Is Franza again. That one won't stay down. Aisha Jones, a big-time rebound. Huskies now numbers on the break. Bounce pass. Oh, nicely done.
That's just great basketball right there. 2-on-1, unselfish play. Jamie Red pleading with the official for the contact call. No such doing. That was a good trap.
Gray able to come up with 2.
You've got some Connecticut players who are the first time in the game look to me like they're winded. Shea and Svet both look a little bit tired.
Three-second violation, Connecticut.
Svetlana caught in the lane. And Svetlana's going to get a blow on the bench as Amy Duran is going to come in. So is Paige Sauer and Stacey Hansmeyer.
Yeah, Svet looked a little tired. You look down the minutes of this Connecticut club. Svet is averaging the most at 25. I mean, that is just remarkable. And this isn't a club who's faced some pansies early on in the year.
Yeah.
They faced 3 ranked teams.
And with games still to come against Tennessee, Louisiana Tech, and Old Dominion, I mean, you can't play a tougher schedule than he has. I mean, you just can't. You couldn't find him. You couldn't make one up.
He is taking all comers. He is a la John Chaney at Temple on the men's side of things. Gino will play you. And not only does he play you, he goes on the road to play you. He takes a class of 5 freshmen and goes out to the 4 in the fall at San Jose and comes away with 3 wins over 3 ranked teams.
Jamie Red looking for her first second-half point. Able to get him.
Washington, number 24, Molly Hills.
Here's Molly Hills in.
Replacing Jamie Red.
And Red to the bench. Stacey Hansmeyer getting some extended minutes here, and now UConn wants a 22nd timeout. I wouldn't want to go back in the huddle given the look on that guy's face right now. You can set your dial to Connecticut Public Radio for news with integrity, informative talk shows, and timeless classical music. Tune into the station that keeps you aware of the world. Connecticut Public Radio, a community where minds meet.
Part of the reason Gino has been successful here, Mike, I think, is the fact that he never accepts anything less than perfection from his club. I mean, we showed you a shot of him on the bench a moment ago. Great shot. He's up 11, but he's screaming at Chris Daly, his associate head coach, because he's not pleased with the effort out there. Expectations of his club are very high.
Ralph along the baseline found a way. She's going to get to the line.
Nice little shovel pass from Hansmeyer.
As you see the Washington huddle there, it's no mistake that there are no names on the back of the Connecticut uniforms, which is all part of what you were just talking about.
Her third personal foul.
He has had 3 National High School Players of the Year. Shea Ralph right here, one of them sails before her, and then Tamika Williams. But they're remarkably ego-free and unselfish. You saw it in that 2-on-1 break with Ralph and Brosimova. I mean, just dishing it. It doesn't matter who scores. Let's just execute. And that is probably an underestimated part of the coaching game, handling egos.
$17.9 for Shea Ralph. Duncan had no place to go with the ball. Amy Duran called with the grab.
Connecticut foul number 20, Stacey Hansmeyer.
No, it was Hansmeyer, excuse me.
Personal foul, 4th on the team. Checking back in for Washington, number 3, Julia Gray, replacing Jill Pinley.
Amber Hall has scored a lot of points in her career at Washington, and she's got a funny looking shot, doesn't
It's
she?
bizarre.
Connecticut foul number 41.
It's probably maybe why she's probably been tough to defend. It's really unorthodox looking.
Shooting 2 for Washington, Amber Hall.
Paige Sauer picking up her 3rd personal foul there.
Her mobility has sort of been strange. You'd think if she goes to the bench, it might tighten up, but she comes off the bench and looks pretty decent on that one.
Can't get the bounce. Hansmeyer with the miss. Walters advances to Ralph. Sauer was open for a moment in the middle. Hansmeyer can't bank it home, and Sheets is there for the miss.
Well, had Hansmeyer curled off that Ralph screen a little bit closer to the basket, would have been an easier shot.
Gray missing outside. Sheets an offensive rebound. Walters with it off the floor. The crowd trying to officiate here.
Now, this has not been the smoothest of 7 or 8 minutes here. Both teams looking a little bit choppy.
I have no idea what this call is going to be.
It's going to be a reach-in call, and I completely disagree. It looked like a good strip, and she might have just gotten teed up here, June. And I can't say that I blame her on that call. I'd love to get another look. She's working on another one.
Yes, she is.
She'd like to end this evening early. Here it is. Walters. That's a lot of ball there.
That's a lot of ball.
That's a lot of ball.
And it was made. The call was made by an official who is a long way away from that.
And you made note at the halftime break of the foul shot differential. Connecticut had shot 18 free throws in the first half to Washington's just 9, and you said to me you expect that away from home. But those kind of calls added to that differential will make a coach pretty upset. And she might be trying to send a message here to her club saying, hey, I haven't stopped fighting. You guys can't stop fighting either. You got to play for pride at this point.
19 for Shea Ralph. 14 is the lead. 11:43 left to go in the game. We are back. It's a 14-point game. 11:43 left to go here. Mike Gorman along with Doris Berg. Let's take a look at the national rankings. Right now, Louisiana Tech, number 2, Tennessee, number 3, and Connecticut. We'll see both of those teams in the next 60 days.
And 3 different number 1s through the first several weeks of the season in the women's basketball polls. Notre Dame, another Big East school, in the rankings at 7. And Rutgers also in the Big East in the top 20. So the conference making some strides. And Gino Auriemma needs that, Mike. He needs other Big East schools to get better.
Jamie Red slaps it away. It'll still be UConn ball. Svetlana back on the floor. Gets it inside. Asia Jones looking for Shea Ralph on the cut. I don't know how she found a way there, but she did.
I find it remarkable that she gets as many shots in the paint as she does. I mean, she doesn't bring a tremendous amount of size inside. But I'll tell you what, how about reading what the defense gives you? Goes back door because Franz is up high trying to cheat and get in the passing lane. And Shea reads it beautifully.
Second straight 20-plus night for Shea. Make it 24 now for Shea Ralph.
She just understands. She understands how to play the game. Both ends.
Jamie Red.
Washington basket by Jamie Red.
Good solid move on the baseline by Red.
Nice little floater. Under 11 minutes now to play. Unbelievable.
Between her and Svetlana, between Ralph and Svetlana, I mean, you just can never relax.
Steal by Tamika Williams. Walters on the break. Jones the trailer. Oh, what a pass.
Great look.
What a great bounce pass. What a terrific bounce pass by Asia Jones.
It's a 6'2" forward using a nice little drop bounce pass. Not a lot you can do if you're Washington.
10 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Connecticut with 79 points on the board. They lead by 21. Leadership funding for UConn women's basketball on CPTV is to play. UConn looking every bit the #1 team in the country.
Well, everybody getting involved in the action. It all starts on the defensive side. People stepping up. Asia Jones between 2 defenders to her fellow freshman Tamika Williams. Shea Ralph steps in the passing lane and takes it in for the bucket. And all of a sudden, it's a deluge. Washington is buried under a flood of steals. Ralph 26 points on 8 of 11 shooting. Connecticut 15 steals. Shea with 4 of those 15. Wow.
Checking back in for Washington, number 34, Melinda Lynch.
Franza. That's not going to go down, but she will get to the free throw line. The Huskies 7 points in the first 6 minutes of this game. 72 points in the next 23 minutes.
Wow. Well, they come at you in waves, and because of the depth, they can always have fresh legs on the floor. There are not many teams in the country who have this kind of depth. This Washington team did an admirable job through the first 20 minutes of play hanging with this club. It surprised us all a little bit, given the fact that Hall came in less than 100%.
Marcy Glennie will see her first action of the night, and Kirsten Walters gets a nice hand going to the bench. Well deserved.
Real solid job coming off the bench, particularly defensively.
Double down there, and a foul. I think it's Hall from behind. Again, looked like that hand check.
Washington dropped back into that 2-3 zone. The ball went baseline. They jumped on it immediately with a trap.
Washington foul.
Third foul on Amber Hall.
Their third personal foul.
Giving Svet a talking to on the sideline.
One, Tamika Williams.
That's where Svet pretends that English is a problem.
Yes. You know, you made a great point about Svet when we were away at break. You said, how does she get such an understanding of the game playing in St. Petersburg? I mean, it's just remarkable. I think certainly her experiences on the Russian national team and playing against the best in Europe helped.
Franza, nice move.
She's a real solid player.
She sure is. 17 on the night. Svet is going to take it and make it.
See, and she's not a typical European player. I mean, she's just so aggressive. Most Europeans don't like to play defense. She excels stepping up and anticipating.
Jamie Red was short with the 3. Marcy Glennie looking to push it. Williams powers it up, no, and then it's slapped away out of bounds. Erickson the last to touch it. UConn will get it back with a fresh clock.
Well, Williams, great quickness, used the first step to get by, just needs to power up, get close and then power up.
Checking back in for Washington, number 30.
Melinda Lynch will come back in, and Amber Hall will sit down. We may not see Amber Hall again tonight with 9:18 to go, and their club down 21. Again, this is the first game of a lengthy road trip. Svetlana misses, and then Svetlana, I believe, is going to be called for the foul over the back of Franza.
Be in Amber Hall in the Washington Huskies' best interest not to see her again. At this point, this one is decided. Gallant effort by the senior. Came into this one averaging 21 points, 11 boards. Was hurt in their first game against Iowa. Late in the game, a win for the Washington Huskies.
Svet sits down with 21, and Sue Bird is checked back in. Swin Cash also in, and Tamika Williams goes to the bench with 18.
Connecticut, Sue Bird and Swin Cash.
Once again, Shea Ralph in the paint and making something happen.
6 foot, great body control by her and understanding, uses the pump if she needs to.
Washington foul number 4, Melissa Erickson.
There it is. Knows she's surrounded, is just going to try to get the defense to commit with the body, and does.
She's just an absolutely fearless player.
Oh. And when you see a knee injury, that's the thing that kids battle the most, the mental toughness to come back and not be afraid.
Franza has Lynch with her on the break. Hunt from behind and foul either Bird or Jones. Take your pick. And give it to Sue Bird, her third.
Connecticut foul number 10.
Franza had struggled for June Doherty through the first 3 games, averaged only 7 points, but they've been fairly successful with the ball in her hands.
Checking back in for Connecticut, Svetlana Rosanova, replacing Sue Bird.
A short stay on the bench for Svet, and Sue Bird with 4 personal fouls to the bench. Asia Jones and called for the steps.
Back with the diamond pressure. don't get the pick, but they use a lot of clock. 20 seconds.
20 seconds to get the ball up. Yeah. Melinda Lynch able to hit from the corner.
You know, they don't ever back down. Usually you see teams, Mike, if they don't get that trap, that first or second quick trap, everybody retreats. Connecticut doesn't retreat.
Svet with some time. Nope. Struggles with the shot tonight.
Svet just 1 of 8 in that first half, but Connecticut had the 6-point advantage because they have so many players who can step up. There's a lot of star quality type players in this club.
Melinda Lynch, her 4th personal foul.
Shea Ralph once again at the free throw line with 27.
Shea Ralph shooting 2.
Could top her career high, which she had against UCLA.
She's 11 of 13 from the line. You got to be involved to get 13 free throws.
No question. And usually she's disgusted with herself. I mean, she is a very proficient foul shooter. As a freshman, when she was National Freshman of the Year, was an 83% foul shooter.
Amy Duran with the hustle play. Amy very quiet tonight. Has only attempted 1 field goal. And the grab as Svetlana was cutting through the lane.
Seen a lot of quick whistles early on in the year in women's basketball, but particularly away from the basketball. I mean, that's a real focus of the officials' attention. They want to clean up play away from the ball. You should take a look at June Doherty, who was teed up. That's another focal point for the officials. Bench decorum.
For what it's worth, I think that's dangerous on the part of women's basketball and or the officials are obviously getting their orders from. The last thing you want to do is turn what is a very entertaining product right now into 2-hour and 25-minute free throw shooting contests.
Which is what we've had,
we've had
this
a lot
evening.
Of them.
Yeah,
we've had a lot of them.
Yes, we have.
That makes them both. The Huskies have attempted 32 free throws with still just under 8 minutes to go in the game.
They may get to that 39 foul shots they're averaging.
Svet comes up with the steal. Nice look ahead for Sauer. Bounce pass to Cash, couldn't handle it cleanly.
And, you know, I don't think coaches would mind physical play provided the officiating is consistent. I mean, you know, there's inevitably contact in a basketball game.
Svet, another steal. Able to control it and get, no you won't. Everything but the basket.
Well, the anticipation, we've spoken about it so often, just steps up, reads the offense, knows what they're thinking, gets control finally, and then everything but the bucket.
Checking back in for Washington, number 12, Sarah Duncan. Number 42, Leanne Sheets.
That is just 7 of 20 from the field. Came in shooting 61%, so that'll take a bit of a dive tonight.
Checking back in for Connecticut, number 34, Tamika Williams.
Williams back in, Sauer out with 7:09 to play.
Well, this will give you an idea early if you're Washington, what you're all about.
Also back in for Washington, number 11, Jamie Red. And number 3, Julia Gray.
Red, Gray, and Sheets all come back in for Washington. 87-67. Just always make the right pass, don't they?
The ball moves so quickly, and nothing like a short corner pass against a 2-3 zone. Get it to the short corner and then step to the basket.
Gray able to get it across. Walters out there defensively with the pressure. Red comes up shooting. Doesn't get the roll. Cash, nice rebound in traffic. Red saw that one coming.
Wow, nice move. Pretty move. Just took Walter to school on that one.
You had the feeling she wasn't going to pass that.
No, no question. And you knew she wasn't going to pull it out,
yeah.
let alone pass it.
Svetlana, a little ball fake. Skips it. Duran. 2 for 2 on the night.
Hasn't taken many, but it's made him count.
A 2 and a 3 for Amy Duran. 92 points on the board for UConn with 5:50 to go.
See, Amy Duran could be important to this club, Mike, just because she's a presence. You've got a lot of young kids, and I'm sure there will be times when Gino's looking on the floor saying, oh my God, I got 3 freshmen. Let me get some stability out there. Amy can provide that for you.
Another hoop for Duran right there, and she will get to the line.
Connecticut now with 94 points. They will top that 100 mark.
Number 11, Jamie Red,
almost certainly.
Checking back in for the Huskies. Number 32, Jill Pinley. Back in for Connecticut, Shea Reynolds.
Tell you one thing, you play either the Connecticut men or the Connecticut women, and you will sleep well that night.
That's right. They're going to make you work.
You will sleep very well.
And you better come with it, because they're going to put all kinds of pressure on you, both clubs. What they say, I think the average, as you take a look at some scores, Rutgers gets one over Buffalo.
Nebraska having their way with St. John's. Notre Dame rolling over San Francisco. That's a good battle right there. Texas always has a representative club. When Cash into traffic, able to draw the foul with 5:08 to play.
Washington foul number 41, Heather Reichman. Her second personal foul.
UConn just relentless.
At the line for Connecticut, Swin Cash will shoot 2.
For Cash. Some of the players down the end of the bench. You're probably going to see some action here in the final 5 minutes of this one.
In for Connecticut, number 20, Stacey Hensmeyer.
Stacey Hensmeyer back in for UConn. Eight points for Cash, and should be replaced by Asia Jones.
Checking back in for Connecticut, number 15, Asia Jones.
Another trademark, Doris, of this Connecticut team. They never seem to pay a whole lot of attention to the scoreboard.
No.
And just kind of play with the same intensity, whether they're up 20. They haven't been in positions where they've been down 20. But
Goes back to what I said about expectations. There's a level of play that has been established at Connecticut, and you better play up to it, or you're going to be sitting alongside the coaching staff.
Frenza takes it at Hansmeyer, and Stacey going to be called for the block.
Connecticut foul number 20.
Washington has to play at Florida International,
Team 10.
a club that over the last several years has been right around that top 25 mark. And then take on Illinois in Orlando. So June Doherty challenging her club early.
Franza 1 of 2. Hansmeyer, Walters advances nicely to Durand. Nice hustle play there by Pimley, who ran the length of the floor to mess up the layup attempt by Durand.
And she did a nice job just getting a shot off there.
Yeah. Connecticut just pushes you out so deep to be able to complete a pass.
You've got to be patient, and you've got to take what the defense gives you.
Jamie Red, who had 17 in the first half, just 7 here in the second. Franza squeezes one up in traffic. She's going to get to the line.
And she continues to fight. Franza has played hard the entire game. She's used her body extremely well and gotten herself to the foul line.
Connecticut foul number 33, Shea Ralph, for his second personal foul.
Shea Ralph picks up her second.
One.
20-point night for Megan Franza.
Just a sophomore. Franza really struggled shooting the basketball her first 3 games. They were very concerned about her.
Ralph once again in traffic.
Wow.
30 for Shea.
I mean, those are 2 hands up. Defense in perfect position. You couldn't ask for better defense, and she still scores.
Amy Durand whistled for that foul. In a 99-74 game with 3:40 to go. To quote my pal Bill Raftery, that's a play on right there.
22, Amy Durand, her second personal foul. At the line for Washington.
You know, I mean, nobody was going to lose possession.
No, no. This is the point of the game where the whistle comes out of the mouth.
Well, you know, I mean, again, I'm not trying to belabor a point here, but it's approaching 9:35, which means we're in a 2-hour and 5-minute game, and we still got 3 minutes and 41 seconds to go. I know there's still another TV timeout to come here.
With a break coming,
yeah,
yes.
You know, the women's game really doesn't want to make an enemy of television, and television is looking for 2-hour windows.
That's right.
It's really not looking for 2 hours and 18 minutes of action. 6 points for Asia Jones, and the Huskies, again, remarkable. After 7 points in the first 6 minutes, have 101 with 3 minutes to go. Schumacher coming up with a turnover. Well, Asia Jones is pretty slick with the basketball, isn't she?
Surprisingly adept at handling the ball.
There is a timeout on the floor.
We've got that TV timeout coming your way. 3:03 left to go. A 26-point Husky lead. 3 minutes and 3 seconds here. Connecticut will hold on to their #1 ranking and stay at 4-0 as we take a look at the upcoming schedule. And lots of that action can be seen right here on CPTV. We'll be back with you on Monday night against Holy Cross. And then a week from tonight at the University of Rhode Island, the Notre Dame game here on CPTV. And then back here on the 13th, a Sunday afternoon game against St. John's. All of those games coming your way here on CPTV.
Plus a date with Tennessee on CBS and Old Dominion.
Marcy Glennie with her head up on the break. Glennie throwing, it was almost an alley-oop. It looked like she was throwing up for Jones.
I don't know if that's what she intended, but if it was awful nice.
Reichman.
Nice move by the freshman.
By Heather Reichman.
Jones inside. The hook won't stick.
Sold it with that little shoulder fake opposite. That was a nice looking move.
Fans are kicking it back out. 8 on the shot clock. Hills, wasn't sure if she was aware of the clock. Maybe she wasn't. From the look in her face after that.
Dead giveaway. Well, that one unintentional, but that's a little bit of what we expected them to try and use some clock.
Courtney Gain about to come into the game.
Number 32, Courtney Gain, replacing
Amy Duran will sit down. Amy, a very efficient night. Schumacher calling for it inside. Looks for a cutter. Bralich outside, no. That's probably going to be Kelly Schumacher over the back.
No question about that one. She's a player I really have liked in the limited minutes I saw her last year. Runs the floor very well. Struggled with some stress fractures a year ago. But she's got great mobility, good scoring touch around the basket.
Connecticut foul number 15, Asia Jones, her second personal foul. Entering the lineup for Washington, number 10, Marcella Doxey. Replacing
Doxey in for the first time, and Franza sits down. Nice effort by the sophomore. 21 points, gets a nice hand from the crowd. A lot of the crowd has started to make their way to the exits. Gray has that partially blocked, but they're going to get Schumacher with the foul.
Is that a play on? That was a play on.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. I didn't want to get redundant here. 1:08 on the clock. It's a 23-point game.
Raftery might just be accused, however, of trying to hit a restaurant too quickly.
Well, that's true. He's always aware of closing time.
That's right.
Courtney Gain trying to force it through the back door. And then Doxey unable to catch up with that pass with 52 seconds left.
Entering the lineup for Connecticut, number 13, Marcy Zell.
Marcy Zell will check in.
Asia Jones.
Asia Jones to the bench, greeted by her teammates. Huskies, I don't think they've scored in the last couple of minutes. Combine that with the 7 points in 6 minutes for the first half, and you probably get 7 points in about 8 minutes. And 93 points in the other 30.
This could have been a 120 type number.
Courtney Gain flips it away from behind. And it's called for the foul.
Connecticut foul number 32, Courtney Gain, her first personal foul. At the line for Washington, shooting 2, Marcella Doxey.
So Marcella Doxey, a 5'6" junior who doesn't get a whole lot of minutes. June Doherty, you could read her lips, she was saying, nice job. But then when we cut away, she said, but I want to go home.
Yeah. Well, June's smart enough to know you might get these people once more before the end of the year. Mend those bridges that you might have burned during the game.
UConn by 20. Zell unable to hit down there on the baseline. Should be the final possession of the game here. Gray loses the handle. Marcy Glennie's going to let it go. Doesn't in time. And 101 will stay on the scoreboard. As the final tonight, UConn gets a scare early. Shea Ralph, a career high at 30. And Juno Oriema and club hold on to their #1 ranking. They are 4-0 now. And for the 4th straight game, have cracked the century mark. Final score here tonight at Gamble, UConn.
Said we looked like we had an 11-day layoff, but took us a while to get going, and we missed a lot of easy shots. And give them credit, you know, they did a pretty good job, but I thought we came out in the second half and really played really well. And you know, we had a lot of guys step up, and Shea is just relentless, you know, and what are you going to do?
The defensive pressure between Shea and Svetlana, but I told Michael, Svet works herself in and out of the doghouse faster than any player I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's the only one I know that can make the best steal you ever saw and then pass it to her friend in the stands. So, yeah, but, you know, as we get better at that, you know, as we work on it more, we'll get better at it. That's the growing pains that you have when you're coaching a young team.
Hey, 4 straight games, over 100 points. This is a situation you've never had in your career. You're going 10 deep. How much of an adjustment has it been for you as a coach?
Well, it's been a big adjustment because we're playing in a style of play that we're not used to, and we're also not always able to dictate the defense that we want to play. So a lot of times just playing on the run, and that's going to take a while for us to get used to, especially for me because I'm not used to it. But the players seem to enjoy it, and our depth wears out the other team. So we're going to keep doing it as long as we're successful with it.
You look great. Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Doris. I appreciate it.
Michael.
All right, Doris, thanks very much, and thanks to Coach Oriema for coming by and spending a little time. Terrific win by the club here tonight. As we take a look at the final stats, UConn shooting 48% when all was said and done, 47% shooting for Washington. An impressive performance by Washington despite the 20-point loss. Rebounds even at 40 apiece as we finish off the night. Next game here on CPTV is coming up on Monday night when the Crusaders of Holy Cross will be here to take on the #1 team in the country, the undefeated Connecticut Huskies. Game time 7:30 here on CPTV. We hope that you will be able to join us. For Doris Burke, I'm Mike Gorman. Once again, that final score, UConn 101, Washington 81. The preceding has been a production of Connecticut Public Television. Good night, everybody.